consciousness versus spirituality. Yona inkulumo yami. Ngizoba mfishane, angeke ngihlale isikhathi eside, so angeke ngibambezele umuntu. Mhlambe as well ingakuhle ngiyikhele inkulumo yami from enlightenment. Kuyini ukukhanyiselwa? Ukhanyiselwe ubani? Ukhanyiselwe yini? Because indaba, I think, fanele ngili-remove, ngilikhiphe leli gama of thinking. Some things I experience, and therefore there's no reason for thinking. Spirituality is an art angibalekela amagama. Mhlamba sithi spirit is a force, and therefore spirituality is an art of understanding forces. Then again, the word forces ingahle confuse the discussion of force, because in reality there's only one force, and then we give it mentality, and then the force becomes a spirit. The force is pure. It is just an energy. And then when we give this energy a mentality, then it becomes a spirit. So then the discussion of spirit begins with understanding Wuti, we are talking about a force, in which upon coding it with our mentality, or the mentality of nature, the mentality of the sky, the mentality of the sun, the mentality, there are many minds. So then we say spirituality is an art of understanding force. Then what is consciousness? This becomes an art of the awareness of force. So spirituality becomes the art of force. And then again, we must understand where force comes from. There's a certain law, a hermetic principle. It's as above, so below. Meaning let's understand where force comes from. There is so much of emphasis on outside or external sources. We are misaligned with internal sources. So then consciousness becomes the tool of being aware of force. In practicality, you sit down, you breathe. The breathing is this understanding of force. You have to understand when uphefumula kanjani. uphefumula kanjani, not ukuthi wena uphefumula kanjani to access certain intensities, certain vibrations of energy. So this becomes this art of spirit, this art of energy, simply becoming aware of you taking in and becoming aware of changing the vibration of energy. So the taking in of breath slowly, the taking in of breath ngokuphuthuma, the mixing, the just being aware of breath, the looking of other physicalities of breath. Nginqanyukelwa umoya, nakho ngibona intombi, ngithathe le ntombi nginqanyukelwa umoya, lahlekelwa amagama. Nguthatha kuphi umoya kimi? Because lo natural bona lo nqamukile. So then other external sources of breath, of spirit. So this becomes spirituality, simply the understanding of breath and physicalities of breath, vibrations of breath, frequencies therefore of breath. Consciousness is applying the mechanics. Then again, consciousness gives us an ability to separate or become one. This is to say, the one who's conscious when faced with a phenomena, they have a decision and they are not imposed. They do not react according to the phenomena. So the one who's conscious understands and knows their decision making before they are influenced by the phenomena. And that is simply consciousness. It's not to say you are applying a true certain mechanism. It's to simply say, this is the phenomena, this is myself, and I'm aware. I'm aware of the chemistries. I'm aware of the physicalities that in me. Consciousness then becomes the awareness of, or the realization of the reason the phenomena is in front of you. Why have I attracted this phenomena? What has attracted this phenomena? When we understand that spirit is a force having coded a mentality, it also means we have an understanding that we need to ascend. It means we have an understanding we have been imposed. And now imposition does not necessarily mean negative or positive. Because then again, our existence, one's existence is an imposition. Bengakasho lutho, bengakakhulumi lutho. Simply a presence is an imposition. So then imposition is not negative or positive. It is the coding of this imposition that therefore the thing of what we do right now is not for us to experience. There are causalities, and therefore we're a phenomena or we're in position and our imposing will not be felt by us, will be known by us but not be felt, experienced by us. So now in the imposition, there are two things, motion happening. So we said consciousness in spirituality begins with enlightenment. It is possible that one is spiritual, possible that one ugcwele umoya ngaphakathi. What's the language? That one is full of spirit, but the mentality of the spirit, where the direction that is given, what is being built, what is being created, is not the ones. It's not the ones. What's the language again? It's very possible that the spirit and the self do not vibrate within the same frequency. It's impossible that one is imposed by the spirit, and it's possible that one imposes on the spirit. Mhlambe iyona ilanguage akade ngibalekele. Umoya uyavuka ngaphakathi emntwini. Kukhona omunye ozothi mevuke lowo moya, then they surrender kulo moya. Then again, this is not positive or negative. It has to do, the positive or negative of it has to do with you having an understanding that this imposition works for you or does not work for you. And then again, khona omunye ungena umoya and then decides, no, I'm going to negotiate. Not that you negotiate the mission, you negotiate how the mission happens. Kuthiwe ingane ivuke lowo moya isencane kakhulu, sihamba soyishwelezela kubantu abadala ukuthi mayiqeda isikole kuqala phambi kokuthi ithathe umsebenzi wabantu abadala, to negotiate with the spirits. So now it's possible that one ungena umoya or uvukela umoya, but is not in command or in charge of the coordinating of events and the motion of events. Kulapho mhlambi language then isithi kunemimoya emibi, kunemimoya emihle. Luhambo ulimi lenyanga maselithi kukhona imimoya eyilwane. Kusekhulunywa ngani la ngolimi lescience? Kusekhulunywa nge-vibration and frequency. The mentality of the source and the capacity of the conduit, the one facilitating energy, the one transporting the energy. So the messenger is tuned. The capacity and the mentality must be in synergy. Otherwise, the source is ukuphula umqondo, or is ukuphula owakho umoya, and then takes over. So when the source does not prepare the conduit with the skills, the rituals of opening capacity of the mind, so to facilitate, because Then again, the understanding of spirit or spirituality ayihlukile, no, it's what's the language, it's not separate from the understanding of sorcery. It is to say, the conduit and the source are separate phenomena. Now, not separate in the manner that there is a stone here and there's a stone here. It's not always that black and white. The separation may be or the separation is there are five subtle bodies creating umuntu, and one may be operating with their heart mind or their mental mind or their biological mind, their spiritual mind or their elemental mind. To open capacity is to say one in alignment throughout all these five subtle bodies of five minds. And then when a synchronicity has been created between the five minds, then capacity opens. There's more room to digest information. There's more skills to analyze information. In this way, you are not imposed. You are given skills, and then you are given information in which, or knowledge cannot change or cannot be falsified. Knowledge is what is. Information can iwubumba. So now, separation is not to say stone in a stone, because someone uvukelwa umoya ngaphakathi or omunye ungenwa umoya. So kukhulunywa ngani ovukelwa umoya nongenwa umoya? Ovukelwa umoya according ngaphakathi kuyena, a mission engaphakathi kuyena comes to life, uyayikhumbula, uvukelwe inkumbulo. Emase lo munye kudinga ukuthi aboniswe kuze avukelwe inkumbulo. Lo munye naturally umzimba wakho, ama-sensations wakho avulelekile, or ubevele kwi-search, so then was always gravitating to the mission. And then lo munye may have decided to be, and it's always then to gravitate to the mission as well, because there's no missing the mission, or there is missing the mark to say you are sinning against yourself, and the sinning is always against self. But the sinning is not to say you are missing the mission, or you are outside of mission, or you're not doing your mission. Uma sifunda or uma sesikoleni, the entire time, whether in class or break time, the example is bad. Angithi generally kulomhlaba ngalendlela odalwe ngakhona, whether conscious or subconscious, whether ulele or uvukile, what happens is we are always navigating or interpreting. It means we are always taking in information and knowledge. There is no way one is not taking information, and even repetition of the same things is still taking in info. So what I'm saying is that there is no way one is missing their mission. They could be repeating one and the same they could be repeating one and the same thing, but that repetition of one and the same thing is because it is still part of, that is the tool they have decided to have to see. So is there a need to look for enlightenment, to want to be enlightened? If we consider that everything is spiraling to its place, there's no need to look for anything. If we observe lo mhlaba esiphila kuwona, we would understand there's no true creation. We are only experiencing creation. Therefore, there's no reason to look for anything. Everything has been written. You only need to remember. And remember is not to look. To remember is to sit down, stop everything. Because consciousness works, it works with attention. That which you are giving attention becomes the source of enlightenment, or the source of ukuboniso, the source of information, source of consciousness. So then, indlela yonke idlula wathi uJesu kumele bonke abantu babhabhadiswe. Indlela yonke idlula kumoya. I think mhlambe this could be indlela is simple to communicate what he said back then today. Indlela yonke idlula in the spirit. But it's possible that we are trapped in the spirit. We do not ascend the spirit. When we have mastered the spirit, we need to transcend it. So to be conscious. Because the state of spirituality and the state of being, in the state of consciousness, it is when we are conscious that you can change your being at will. But when you are a spirit, when you are rooted in the spirit, is rooted because it needs to be anchored. It needs matter. It needs to bound somewhere. So it means you are anchored in the third dimension of reality. You are anchored in the physical world. But when you apply consciousness, then you are anchored in the spiritual, where matter comes from, not where spirit needs to be anchored, where spirit needs to experience itself. All right. Eyami indaba was to say, ukuvukela umoya is simply the beginning. One needs to master umoya. One needs to give identity or realize identity of umoya. You either give it identity or you realize it. It is dependent on the mission you have taken on this world, the experience you have decided to have in this world. The ones who give it identity will then say, nakebaleka la magama. I walk with the ascended master, so khona that language, or I work with the higher self. This is the one who has decided to go and negotiate with the spirit. Khona the other one who has decided to submit to the spirit. These ways zombie are very pure. None of them is the servitude and the building, because there's one here who has come to build, and there's another one here so there is someone who has come to lose themselves, to empty themselves, and there's someone else who has come to collect themselves, to understand themselves. The two ways are pure. So then one must understand what the spirit has come to do, to serve or to be the master. When one has understood the path the spirit has come to take in this physical matter world, then you surrender into that. You surrender into being the master. You surrender into being isithunyu. You still need the understanding that I've come to master something. It also means you need to transcend something, and the understanding that I have come to serve something. It also means inside of me I need to transcend something. So then yonke indlela iqala kumoya, but umoya udinga ukukhula. It needs transcendence. It needs liberation from matter. It needs liberation from itself as well. Spirits, the ideas of spirit. The spirit is about motion. Ayikhathali ihlezi ihamba. So there is that battle ngaphakathi emntwini between the spirit and that which is a biological being. Biological being wants rest, but umoya wants work. These type of balances we need to find themselves ngaphakathi, so we need to serve something or master something. Kulungile. Ngiyayibamba la inkulumo yami. Consciousness and spirituality is one and the same movement of spirit. Spirit needs to understand the laws of the physical world and transcend the laws of the the physical world. So then it is liberated. It still needs to transcend itself when it is at the state of being. Oh, now I am the I am spirit. I've transcended the what I'm described as. In the ngindoda, I've transcended that. I transcend that. I give myself another name. So then this is me having to understand my spirit. Even then, when I've understood that, I still need to do the work so that I can transcend the work. So to transcend the spirit. Thokozani.